Okay, so now you're ready to actually disassemble and clean your gun fully. So I'm going to show you how to do that. What you're going to need is when you received your gun, you have a cleaning kit that has these parts to it. So I want you to pull out those two parts. Those are probably going to be the ones that you're going to need. These are just extra leverage if you need to use extra pressure when you're taking one of the parts off. So what you want to do is on the back of your LVCLP unit, you're going to see some sponges. I want you to pull those off the back of your gun and bring them out to the sink. And I just want you to hose them out. So I'm going to show you mine. I've probably done about 100 tans at this point. So you'll see that you can just see that all that solution is just built up in there. It does get a green look, and that's okay. That's just counteracting the orange color of the solution, and it gets green against the air. So once you've got that cleaned out, I want you to just shake it and let it sit. You're going to let that sit until it's fully dry, and you want to clean them both out very nicely, because that's just going to keep the air circulation in your LVCLP the way it needs to be. Nice and fresh, always in good working order. Okay, so those now I can just lay them out to dry. Two other pieces that you're going to need. You're going to need some Vaseline when you reassemble your gun, and you're just going to need a pad to scratch off any excess solution that might be stuck on the inside shafts or the needle of your gun. So now we're going to have you grab your gun. You're going to loosen your gold locking ring, and you're going to just take that screw all the way out. And you can leave the gold locking ring on, that is okay. How I want you to lay your pieces out is I want you to lay them out in the order you're taking them out of your gun, so you know how to reassemble your gun back together. Then I want you to take this black piece off. It will just unscrew. And it has a spring inside. Be careful, there are several springs that are going to come out. I want you to be very careful not to lose these. So I would just lay it out, and that is the way your gun goes together. So now I know where those pieces belong. Now you want to take your needle out of your gun. So you're just going to wiggle it and pull it loose and set your gun down. And here on your needle, you'll see it gets really gunked up. And you're going to pull off that spring and that silver piece right there. And I want you to clean these out, rinse them off. And here's where you'll start using your brush, and I want you to just clean out those pieces. Warm water, cold water, doesn't matter. I use warm water just because I don't want my hands cold. And I'm gonna lay these out on my white towel, and I'm gonna grab my scratchy pad, and I'm gonna put my needle under there, and I'm just gonna clean all that off my needle, because that is gonna cause sticking if I do not. So you want to have everything nice and fresh and clean. Okay, that looks good. Water off. And here's how I'm going to lay this out so that I know how it goes back together. Got my needle, that silver piece, and my spring right like that. Okay? I'm going to grab my gun again, and I'm going to unwind my adjustment ring on the front. Take that all the way off. And I would probably hold my gun at an angle, because when you take this off, it's going to make this become loose. So unwind that all the way. I'm going to lay this out again. Now I'm going to take off my nozzle, which you'll see has a flat piece attached to it. Here, so take those apart and lay them out. And inside here, you'll find a needle, a spring. Pull that out. Get your spring. Lay that out. Now on the inside of your gun, you'll see you have the star-shaped piece right here. And this tool will fit perfectly on there. And you'll dial it counterclockwise. At first, when you first take it out, it's really hard. If you need to lay your gun on a table and maybe use a light tap of a hammer to loosen it, that's okay. But now I just have it hand tightened, so I'm going to loosen it. I'm going to take that all the way off. And I'm going to lay it out. Let's see, it's got like gunk in there, so it needs to be cleaned for sure. This is okay. That's gonna be okay for that to look like that. Again, I'm gonna set it right out in line how it's gonna go back together. The last piece I'm gonna take off is the tube that goes into your cup. Right off. So what I'm gonna do is turn my water back on. I'm just gonna make sure my tube is clean. I'm just gonna put my brush right in there. Okay, that's clean. I wanna make sure all of my pieces that I've taken out are all clean. I don't want there to be any leftover solution on any parts. Clean your needles, clean your springs, and definitely the inside of where your needle goes through. And don't be scared. Scrub this stuff. Don't be scared of it. Get it clean. It's steel. You can't hurt it. So now I've got all that extra solution out. Now what I want you to do is I want you to take your gun and I want you to run your water through your gun like this. And I'm gonna have you put your brush right in there. Wiggle your brush around a little bit. You're gonna shake some solution loose that got in there. That's okay. This is good. You wanna clean it out nice. And then I'm gonna take my brush and I'm gonna put it right through that little hole where the tube comes out that goes into the solution cup. And I'm just gonna keep cleaning those areas until the water comes out nice and clean. And I'm just gonna run water through the whole system. I don't want you to worry about this tube right here. That just cleans itself out. That is always gonna have a little bit of solution in it. That's okay, don't worry about that. We just wanna worry about getting any solution buildup right through here cleaned out. Okay, so now you'll see that when I run the water through, it's actually coming out clear. So I have got my gun clean. What I want you to do at this point is I want you to go into your machine, in your LVCLP machine. I want you to hook it up and I want you to blow that air through your gun for about 30 seconds to a minute. And that's just gonna dry this all out. And I want you to just set it up overnight to dry, just like that.